On August 29, 2005, Hurricane Katrina came ashore like 1,000 giant bulldozers and devastated the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Bay St. Louis, Waveland, and Pass Christian were hit with a giant wall of water that crushed everything in its path. The 175-mile-an-hour winds and the 30-foot wall of water destroyed power lines, cell phone towers, and flooded the police and fire departments. The radio systems were damaged, and all official communications were down.
My task was now a mission to make sure that we kept the communications, because we found out there's nothing worked. Bay St. Louis, police repeaters, nothing. They were all gone. They were all dunked. They were all salt water.
Bryce Phillips was able to communicate through the use of his ham radio and could transmit messages to the public on WQRZ, a low-powered FM radio station that he and Christine Stack created in 2003 to serve the community of Hancock County.
So we continued to run emergency traffic, for a week and a half straight. It was nonstop. I did not get maybe an hour's sleep. You know, when you're the only lifeline and have the only communications available and you're waiting to hear from some speck of somebody to chirp on there from a location so you can send that message, get it through, that's how it was for the first week. FEMA distributed 3,000 radios at every pod site in the first couple weeks to where people could get that information they need. They had some real bad floods when I was still a teenager and 16 years old, and I used to ride my bicycle everywhere, and I lived in Pearl River, Louisiana. They had floods that came in and flooded our homes, and it was kind of like a mini disaster there. I think I started because I got a CB radio, I put it on my bicycle, I put a battery on the back and an antenna, and I rode around all around the neighborhood trying to help people with supplies and sandbags and to relay messages, and we were talking to some folks up the way, and I guess that's how I started where I'm at now. It's kind of interesting. I look back at that. I didn't even think that I might get some water in the house, and I put everything up at the more important stuff started getting higher in elevation inside the house. The higher the shelf, the more important it was, and we did that last minute, just trying to shuffle things around. Had no idea it was going to be as bad as it was.
WQRZ was just a dream in 1999. With limited financial resources, Bryce and his partner Christine Stack were determined to create a community radio station. It took over 5 years to collect all the music recordings and equipment necessary to operate a low-powered FM radio station. One section at a time was added over a 2-year period to complete the 130-foot antenna needed to broadcast. Finally, in January 2003, with a brand new transmitter installed, WQRZ was officially broadcasting on the air. Katrina's giant wave surge destroyed Bryce's house. A 30-foot wall of water ripped his house off its foundation and destroyed everything inside. All of his computers, radios, and electronics that he was collecting for years were damaged beyond repair. The only radios that survived are what he packed in his car for use at the Emergency Operations Center. What did survive is the 130-foot antenna and the little radio shack. With the help from the Society of Broadcast Engineers and donated equipment from the Harris Corporation, a new 1,500-watt transmitter was installed in the surviving radio shack and connected to the 130-foot antenna. WQRZ radio signals are radio relayed from the Emergency Operations Center in the Kiln to Bryce's house 5 miles away, then broadcast through his antenna to the community of Hancock County. Bryce and Christine worked tirelessly, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, keeping WQRZ on the air. Since their house was destroyed, they now live in a trailer at the Emergency Operations Center. 103.5 is a grassroots community radio station that is a vital part of the recovery efforts in Hancock County, broadcasting a variety of music, local interviews, and emergency management updates in a timely manner. George and Teresa Wally prepared for the storm by moving their valuables up to the second floor in an attempt to protect their belongings. But Katrina's 30-foot-high storm surge flooded the entire neighborhood over the rooftops and destroyed the Wally's house. It's been difficult on the Wallies. Both George and Teresa are retired and have medical issues that are a continuing challenge.
Just a few hours.
Yeah,
A lifetime of work. Saving, doing without for your retirement. And then just about a couple of hours, something like this hits and
and
it takes it all.
Yes.
You lose everything. You lose everything you worked all your life for and saved.
The only thing we can do is don't give up hope. But as long as we are alive, that was more important than all what happened here.
It's hard to explain to anybody.
Yeah.
You got to come look for yourself to really realize what's went on.
Well, we still have the, what you call the structure, but everything inside we have lost. Even what we had on the porch, we have lost everything.
See, we're both retired. She's 65 on Social Security. I'm 66 on Social Security. And between the two of us, we draw less than $1,000 a month. Start paying utility bills and buying groceries. You don't have no money for insurance. You either sacrifice no insurance and eat, or either you buy insurance and do without something to eat. And medication.
So all these years, what you think you worked and you saved and done everything, and you try to get you a nice place to live for the rest of your life, and you say, well, you made it, But then all this happened, then that's it, it's gone.
Hey Wayne, here's some stuff that might be able to salvage.
This house, we'll have it roughed out tomorrow afternoon, have the paneling down probably, and the sheetrock down, the ductwork down, and the carpet up, and then it'll probably take another day or two to do some of the finer things.
There's those that, like me, that didn't need flood insurance, didn't have flood insurance, and lost everything because of the flood. We didn't expect a tidal wave of 30-something feet. I live over 5 miles from the beach, and my whole neighborhood went underwater. We had to go all the way around the park in order to get down here. When I came around the corner, the first thing I saw was my 2 dogs. And I didn't even look at the house. I'll be honest with you. I did not look at the house. My 2 dogs was fine. I was so happy. I got out of the truck. I ran over to them. I looked at the house then. And I told, my son was with me. And I told him, I says, well, I guess we could rebuild. And then we went inside. And when we went inside, we saw that there was nothing left inside. There was absolutely nothing left in the house that was salvageable. I actually cried when there wasn't nobody around to see me. And when my wife came up, she says, "What are you doing?" I says, I got some of this insulation in my eyes. And I walked outside and cleaned my face up and walked back in and says, you know what, this ain't no problem. I don't have a bit of problem with this. This is gonna be easy. You know, we get a little assistance. I'll be happy to rebuild my house. You know, and I didn't want her to know. I don't want nobody to know how heartbroken I've been over this. You know, this is all I could afford. I built this out of every penny that I could scrounge together. I didn't have a mortgage on it to build this house. I built this house myself, out of my pocket.
Joe can't even get into his own house to clean it out. He has an illness called asbestosis from working in the shipyards, and the mold in the house makes him cough uncontrollably. With limited funds to live on, Joe has not been able to hire anyone to help him start the rebuilding process.
Well, after Hurricane Camille, it was quite similar. We had lost our home, lost our businesses, lost our church, our schools, we had lost friends, and we recalled how difficult it was to be a child after a great storm. So we wanted to come back to our community and do something for the kids.
Today here in Bay St. Louis, we're working with the residents side by side with every volunteer almost in town coming out to begin the rebuilding of hope and opportunity for kids. And what I love about it is the mayor's here, the city council's here, the chief of police here, the fire chief is here, neighbors, residents, people who don't even live in Bay St. Louis but went to school here have returned from Connecticut, California, Alabama, Florida. And I think this is a true sign that hope is returning to the Gulf and to Bay St. Louis.
I'm a city councilman of the city of Bay St. Louis, and we're just grateful all these people come out today. Grateful to Kaboom, and just having a wonderful time building the kids a playground.
What are you building here?
A drum set.
Drum set.
Doesn't look like it from this side. From that side, it actually looks like a drum set.
Does it require a lock title?
This piece is one of the things we're most excited about this year. It's called the Dino Dig. It looks like it's just a giant sandbox, but you can see a remnant of a fossil, quote-unquote fossil, sticking out. And what it allows kids to do is they get to dig, and the deeper they dig, the more fossils of dinosaurs they're going to find.
Well, the volunteers that have come to the coast during the past 3 months have been tremendous because they give the people here hope and encouragement, because it can be depressing at times when you start thinking about all that's going on.
And all these different pieces will go in as soon as the main. Here, this pile right here. Here you go. Right there is perfect. Thank you.
You can do it. Right over here. Yeah, that's what it dig. That's the way to dig.
You know, our people from the very beginning, all they've been interested in doing is trying to help their neighbors and their friends, and not worried about their own losses. They're just simply trying to take care of each other. And that's the way it is. You know, the people here, most of the people here lost everything, but they still took time out of their schedule to come here and do what they think is important.
Oh, here's another one. Wait.
Give it all, give it all. Give it all, drive with the leg. Drive with the leg. Bringing in the sea.
We're loading the wood chips into the work area over there, or the play area, and we're happy to be rebuilding Bay St. Louis. Let's go, guys.
We don't
know where we're going.
Leaders in the back.
I had 12 feet of water in my house, like most people around here. We all lost our homes, and so you get a little numb to it. And the exciting thing about this is that we're doing something brand new. And this would be the first new building in Bay St. Louis, even though it's a playground, but it'd be the first new building in the city since the hurricane. So we're excited about it.
I think that's probably good.
Watch your feet. Gently down. Take it and spin it. I need that over against the playground. This way. Yeah, keep on walking. Y'all stop. Y'all stop. Y'all walk it. Keep walking it. All right, bring it up.
7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge.
This is absolutely wonderful. It's like the first thing that has gone up here in Bay St. Louis, and it has been completed. And one day Bay St. Louis will be back in just like it was before and better.
I just want to thank the team of boomers who I get to work with, who this year we raised $70,000 and didn't know what to do with it. And when we got Jenny's message, it became clear. So thank you, boomers, for doing this.
God bless you.
10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We had a choice. We could just sit back and do nothing, or we could get started. And we got started. And we've made some inroads, but it's still a long road to go. And we've just got to keep the faith and keep doing the work. And eventually, we're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. We just hope it's not a train, another hurricane. We have a number of volunteers who are coming down, and we've set up a camp here on the church parking lot. We can sleep and house approximately 60 to 70 volunteers easily. We're excited about what's going on, having a lot of houses that are being cleaned out, a lot of circumstances where we're helping a lot of people. So we just thank God for the opportunities that He's given to us in this tragedy that we're continuing to go through. I've had a lot of people say that, you know, I hadn't thought too much about the Lord until this happened, and then I called on Him quite frequently as I was being inundated by water.
If you could imagine England being laid on its side, that's about the expanse of the devastation. And so we're looking at a huge area, geographic area, a lot of people struggling with the same issues, the loss of their homes, and in need of consolation and emotional consolation and encouragement, as well as the physical aspect of helping them reestablish their life here on the Gulf. The disaster is visual. It's something that you can see, and people other places can see through the media. Say, okay, the winds and the rains and the flooding and the devastation of the homes and all that. But then there's the recovery, which some have estimated 3, some 10 years it's going to take to recover in this region. All of the dramatic has passed, and now we're dealing with the reality of recovery, which is just a lot of hard, emotional work, and so we see bringing volunteers in for a long time. It's not a condition of you believe the way we do. That's not what this is about. Okay? It's about somebody having a need, and us showing the love of Christ through what we do. Like James said, I'll show you my faith by my works. Well, that's what we're doing, is we're demonstrating our faith in a practical way.
You know, some of these houses we go into have 8 inches of sticky black mud all over the floors, and up in the attics and everywhere. And it's something that people just don't normally have an opportunity to do. The furnishings and all are completely destroyed and thrown all around in the house, and people leave here when they evacuate with a suitcase thinking that in 3 or 4 days they're coming back and everything will be just like they left it. So everything in the house, the clothes, the food, and everything, you know, is in that house and is covered with mud and dirty water, and so it all has to be disposed of. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it's dirty, and it's depressing. But at least when we leave, we can see that we've done a little something that will help somebody out. So even though the house is left, you know, with just wood framing and maybe some exterior siding and so forth, I think they feel like that they have started on the road back.
We're cleaning out, we're getting to the end of all the sheetrock. We're getting the sheetrock off the floor now, and then the gentleman over there taking the top floor off. Hopefully we'll be able to leave the subfloor, and it will dry out for a period of time.
It's a good feeling to know that we can at least be of a small help. You know, the people here are they're just in bad shape, but we can contribute a little bit by coming in and helping them clean up and starting them back on the road to recovery.
We host volunteers from all over the United States. The volunteers typically will stay here from anywhere from 2 days to a week. These are metal buildings that we modified. It's heated, it's air conditioned, we have insulation in it. This is actually a metal storage building that we've converted. We established this camp as a base of operations for volunteers. We're faith-based, okay, and we don't shrink from that. That's what we're all about.
Some of us are retired, some of us have taken off our jobs, and to come down, we're coming down, sending down a group every month until July, and then our youth group's coming down in July to work. So we're trying to send a group down each month to help with relief efforts, to tell the folk about the wonderful hope they have in Jesus Christ, but also show them that they're people that really care and that we represent a Lord that really cares.
I came down with a group of about 13 folks, and we just saw a need, saw a bunch of people down here who don't have homes and have lost everything, and felt like it was an opportunity for us to come down and really just serve.
I actually am very grateful that I get to be a part of this, and I get to come and meet the people here who are working hard themselves just to get things back on their way, and it's just been good to come alongside them and just kind of support them in what they're doing.
When we came down, we thought we were just going to be down here for about 2 weeks, and we went home on a Friday afternoon, and as we were driving up Interstate 65 to Montgomery, we just looked at each other and we said, we can't go home and stay. We have to go back. It was the need was too great. People who were in homes, as the water came up, they were trying to get to higher levels in their home, up into the attic, and from the attic onto a roof, and then having to swim to a higher place just to save their own lives. You can't hear those stories and not be impacted by it. You know, you can't see that and hear the need and not want to do something to help. It's really a humbling experience. No matter what you do, it's not enough. So you focus on what you can do. And one of the stories, I've heard this story several times, about starfish being washed up on a shore. And there's a man going out and he's throwing a starfish back into the ocean one at a time. And somebody sees them and goes up to them and asks, why are you doing this? You can't save all these starfish. And the man says, yes, but it makes a difference to the one that I get back in the water. And so that's what I focus on, is not everything, not everyone that I can't help, but on the ones that we can help.
We're bringing Christmas gifts for the children at Shoreline Park Baptist Church. What we did is we had a list and we had our church families adopt a kid. Some families adopted 2 children. But we had so much fun buying these gifts, we wanted to keep buying. I mean, we'd see other things and we'd just want to buy and buy and buy.
I got to tell you, of all of the things that we have done in bringing supplies and handing out ice and giving out gospel tracts and Bibles, and we still want to do those things, this has probably been the most exciting part, helping these families to be able to participate in the celebration of the Christmas and everything that it means with the birth of Christ and all of those things.
We usually weather winter over up in Florence, South Carolina. This year the wife wanted to do something different to help somebody. So we decided to come down here and see what we can do down here to help some of these people that got damaged in the storm. Yep, we retired, sold our home, and we bought a 37-foot fifth wheel camper. This is where we keep all of our tools. I got my string line here. These are our face goggles, our hammers. This are our tape measures. We got some flat tools up here on top, nail pullers.
Having some meatloaf for supper and some scalloped potatoes. And I'm kind of rushing a little bit, so I'm done on time. Well, my husband and I had felt that we've had our health, we've been lucky, and we felt sorry for these people. Of course, we felt that at the time that we left to come down, a lot of it would have been cleaned up in much better condition than what it currently is. And we were quite surprised when we got down here to see the amount of destruction. I kind of try to make my meals nourishing and interesting. I feel they need a good meal, not just something out of a can or something frozen. But that's how I've cooked all my life. I've made everything from scratch. And we came to stay for 2 weeks. We're probably going to be here 3 months. And if it weren't because we have other plans, we'd probably stay longer. And who knows, by the time for us to leave comes, we may not. We may decide to stay on.
Looking at the house, you wouldn't even think it's in the same hurricane. With a few pieces of vinyl siding gone, a few shingles. I can't believe the fence. Look at the fence. The fence is still there like brand new. If it wasn't for the trees and the water, I could have moved in my house the day after the hurricane. But it's just I had 8 foot of water in there. And, you know, the insurance company, Katrina didn't kill me, but the insurance company did. So this is my living room. You can see how, well, you can see how high the water went. The water went about 8 foot high. Just a mess everywhere, you know. And I'm trying to, right now I'm trying to fix up a place where I can come over here and stay. Right now I'm staying 8 hours away from here. And it's really hard to make that trip back and forth with no place to stay. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this fixed up, this area over here fixed up. You know, now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all the sheetrock out. It didn't reach the ceiling, so the ceiling should be okay. This ceramic tile was put down 2 weeks before the hurricane. All this furniture in here was less than a year old, you know? I just redid all these hardwood floors. These hardwood floors are 135 years old. I just had them redone last year. I was in the process of redoing the whole bathroom. I was going to redo the bathroom on a Tuesday, and the hurricane hit Monday. So thank God for that, you know. But I'm going to have to rip out all these cabinets, everything out of here, you know. I'm not sure if any of this can be saved. They were good cabinets, solid wood cabinets. I may be able to take them out, sand them down, and still save them. I'm not really sure, you know. But I'm lucky up in here, the water didn't reach the ceilings, so the ceilings are okay. But the way it looks to me, that water must have came through here, it must have parted, and then filled in, the wave must have filled back in here, and then filled my house up with water. And you can see, looking at this clock right here, this clock was above my mantelpiece that used to be here, and the clock stopped at 25 minutes after 11. So apparently, that's when the water reached the 8-foot mark. That's what I would think, because I wouldn't think it would run underwater, you know? And then that's another thing. I'm staying in Tennessee right now. Gas in Tennessee is under $2 a gallon in Tennessee where I'm staying at. It's probably 50 cents a gallon more over here where the people could use a break on gasoline, a break on everything. And it just isn't happening, you know, and it's really a shame that it's that way. The way I understand sheetrock, all the building materials, everything is higher over here than it is anywhere else. And that's a shame. It should be cheaper over here because the people are in such dire need for everything. But I guess that's just the way the system works with the almighty dollar, you know. People are coming around stealing. You know, they've been in my house, they've stolen tools, they've stolen a TV set that I brought over here. I had a big old barbecue pit that I had just bought before the hurricane, and I was so proud of it because it worked. It went underwater and it still worked, you know. I cleaned it all up, I come over here, it was gone. I came here today, this thing, I hid it in the backyard back there, my wheelbarrow is sitting here. So I know somebody came here and used this wheelbarrow, and maybe the only reason they brought it back is because I sprayed my initials on it. All right. Oh, I am now, you know, I'm cried out, there ain't no more tears left in me. You know, it's just got to buckle down and try to get it back together now, you know, which is going to be hard, really, really hard. And these poor people over here, they're even worse than I am. It seems like to me, they take care of the foreign countries better than they take care of us. And that's really a shame to say that, you know. I know when that tsunami came and destroyed all them people over there, they were over there like greased lightning, ex-presidents trying to get money for them, you know, all of this. But we need help bad over here, you know. I mean, they've done a lot, don't get me wrong. They've done a lot, and there's a lot left to do. But there's still plenty left to do around here.
I'm Catherine Cole. I'm a family doctor from Fairfax Family Practice. I flew down on Sunday with 3 other people, an EMT, a nurse, and a third-year family practice resident from our group to staff this free medical clinic that has been operating since, I think, the first week after the hurricane. We are open 8 to 5 every day and see whoever walks in and try to help them out with their medical needs. Oh, as soon as we walked in, opened the door, people just start coming in to be seen for many, many kinds of problems. Almost all of them tell us that they're living in trailers or living with someone else, that their homes are not habitable. And most of them have lost their jobs, so they've lost their health insurance.
That's what it was.
And they don't have any money to pay for any medications or to pay for an ER visit. And even if they do, there aren't many physicians in this town right now because their practices were ruined. They were flooded too. So there's no doctor for them to see, and they don't have any money to pay for their medicines. So we are providing very basic medical care. A lot of what we're doing, though, is trying to keep people who are on chronic medicines for chronic medical problems on their medicines while hopefully until their regular medical care doctors get back or they get to some kind of medical care. They they can't get to that now at all. They can't find anybody to see them, so we have all kinds of chronic meds that we are dispensing. The patients don't have any idea what happened to their doctor. They know what the office looks like, which is like every other building in town, which was ruined by the storm. But they don't know where their doctor is. They have no idea. Almost every single patient that we saw doesn't have a job or doesn't have health insurance. I mean, every single person we saw is struggling like hardly we ever see anybody struggle in our practice.
Oh man, go ahead and put that under your tongue for me, bud.
Oh, okay. Our primary focus and concern is to help meet unmet needs for those persons that are unable to otherwise regain their standard of living prior to the storm. We've been successful now at building 2 homes for senior citizens whose homes were destroyed or very badly damaged during the storm. This is our 3rd one, and thus far, just by having volunteer labor and a whole lot of donated materials, we've been able to get all of them moved into their homes at no cost to them.
Please, we go to church at Beulah Baptist Church up in West Virginia, and we came down, 9 of us, 6 men and 3 women came down to volunteer to try to help.
We have received help from literally all over this country. There have been, and it's mostly from the faith community, churches from as far away as California to the west, Canada to the north, New York, Florida, Missouri, I mean literally all over the place, Oklahoma, Wyoming, Colorado, you name it, they've been through here and they continue to come. Many of them, and they come at their own cost. They come ready to roll up their sleeves and get to work, you know, whatever needs to be done, they're willing to do just that. This house is very much typical of many of the houses that were down through here. It took a tree, I mean, right down across the spine, and we've been laughing about it. We said the house and the tree had a fight, and the tree won. This one is unfortunately beyond repair, and believe it or not, as bad as all this is, we're still in better shape than a whole lot of people. This house belongs to a senior couple at our church, Reverend Robinson and his wife, Mother Katrina Robinson. There were 3 trees that fell on top of their old house. It was kind of not in the best of shape prior to the storm. And certainly when we took the trees off of it, it wasn't in real good shape at all. We were able to build this house completely debt-free to them by using volunteer labor and donated materials. A group out of South Alabama, We Care of South Alabama, came over and actually did the construction work and was able, through some of their contacts and suppliers, able to actually generate the funds for the purchase of the materials, and they did the labor on it and everything. So this old couple was able to move literally out of a house that was a wreck into a brand new home. All right, bye-bye. There's a lady there we went over today, took a group over and got a house, the old stuff taken out of it, the old sheetrock and all. She was just calling to say thank you. There's a passage that has come to become very much alive in my life, and it says that the joy of the Lord is my strength. I get joy out of being able to help these people that otherwise have no one to help them. And that joy gives me strength. I mean, I have no problem getting up day after day, getting right back after it, trying to make it happen today for somebody else.
The stories I'm hearing from people who are on the beach, the surge height was as high as the telephone wires between the tops of the telephone poles, with waves crashing over the telephone poles. I evacuated Saturday morning before the 29th of August when Katrina came ashore, and that's why I'm talking to you today. From here, a staircase went up to that green I-beam there, and that's where the front door was. This was the former living room up here, and this still is part of the living room. What we think happened, okay, is the water would have come, and a lot of debris is 300 or 400 yards that away, maybe 1,000 yards that away, okay? And then the water came out, and a lot of stuff is out at sea. This comes from on top of our supports where you see the green. This sat on top of where the green I-beam is over there. And you're looking from the backyard toward the beach, and this is why we live here, the beautiful view and the serenity of the place. So you have to have humor to survive this. So the views have been upgraded since Katrina. Now the dwellings are gone, but the views are less obstructed now. My kids who are in high school, they spent weeks just walking around scavenging, and these were our toys. And this here to my left is my neighbor's house, and it was a beautiful story and a half dwelling, and it was quite new. Now there's nothing there. There's just air where her home was. That's it. Even the decking above these columns is gone. And the debris, which is hard to find because a lot of it was sucked back out into the water, is about 1,000 yards into the woods that way, but you usually don't recognize what it was. It's that badly damaged. This I guess was my neighbor's laptop. I'm not very computer literate, but once they get water, I don't guess you can save them anymore. I wonder if I could get, that is my bike. I might could save that. This is my bike, which we just found in the woods, in the debris, and it seems to be in excellent shape. I'm thrilled to get it back, and it's now a Katrina survivor, and I'm elated here. Oh, this is great.